Welcome back. All right, so the award show from the Fountain Blue in Las Vegas, beautiful looking venue that they had it in. It is the newest casino that they have down there. I was looking forward to seeing it when we went there in August, but we changed our plans. We're not going to Las Vegas this summer, but we're not ruling out something before the end of the year. We're considering it, but at any rate, um, it does feel like rather than saying, man, I watched the award show, it kind of feels more like, well, I survived it. I really think the NHL needs to just get like a former player to host it, somebody or just somebody who's in broadcasting to host it. Comedians don't work. This didn't work. It really didn't work, and it didn't look like the players were enjoying it either. Blink your eyes twice if you're here against your will, kind of thing. It was painful, and it's too bad because the music beforehand was actually pretty good. Music wasn't too bad. But and then when they showed Matthews, well, he's making Austin Matthews jokes. Matthews didn't. I mean, he kind of grimaced more than smiled. It was painful. Um, so they hand out the Ted Lindsay Award first. This is the players voting on who they feel is the best player in the NHL, and it goes to Nathan MacKinnon. So Nathan MacKinnon had a monster year, and that's why I opted to wear my Nathan MacKinnon jersey. I went back and forth, and I thought, no, MacKinnon had a monster night. So he gets the Ted Lindsay because the players said best player in the league. Then the comedy starts up, and they played the microdosing mushroom Michael Bublé thing from the All Star break. And then he pretended to, so it's not just a comedian; it's an impressionist. Impressionists can be a tough watch. Not gonna lie, because then he pretended to be Mike, and all I could put up there was sorry, Mike. I just wrote sorry, Mike. That was yeah. Couldn't they just get Mike to host it? Like Michael Bublé is a funny guy who is also a good singer. And he's legitimately funny. So and he knows hockey. So why not get him to host the awards if you're gonna have somebody up there doing an impression of him and not a great impression? Um, just get Mike to host it. I don't see any reason why not. I don't think he'd say no necessarily. He'll probably text me. I would not do anyways. No, I don't know one way or the other. But either way, it was it didn't feel like it landed. Um, the Calder Award goes to Connor Bedard. This is where you get into the voting. So they didn't get into the Ted Lindsay voting on what the players felt. That'll come out. I think the NHLPA posts that. But 152 first place votes went to Connor Bedard. 42 first place votes went to Brock Faber. So to Wild fans who really were propping up Faber, and there were some who were not Wild fans that were propping up Faber, hey, 42 writers agreed and gave him the first place vote. So there were definitely some people who felt Brock Faber should have been the winner of the Calder Trophy. The Norris Trophy goes to Quinn Hughes in what was the biggest landslide, where it was a vote by the writers, anyways. 172 first place votes to Quinn Hughes. Yossi got 12. Makar got 9. Adam Fox got 1. So Quinn Hughes gets the award. Luke Hughes, of course, was up for the Calder. So decent night for the Hughes family. Quinn gets his first ever Norris Trophy. I don't think it's going to be the last. And then they had more of the comedy stuff. Anyways, then the Vezina Trophy gets awarded, and 31 out of 32 general managers, because it's the general managers that vote for the Vezina, 31 of them voted for Hellebuck. 1 voted for Bobrovsky. I can't prove it was Bill Zito, but probably Bill Zito. But yeah, and I'm not saying Bobrovsky didn't deserve a vote. I'm not trying to say it that way. But yeah, Hellebuck had a ridiculous year. Keep in mind that I know people get mad, like, oh, he got lit up in the playoffs. These are all votes that go in for the regular season. The playoff award, of course, is the Conn Smythe. So then, so he interviews Kucherov. This is the impressionist doing, I guess, he's saying he's doing a Kucherov impression, but it was like a really bad Borat impression. And I thought, now, this feels offensive. Like it just feels offensive. I kind of felt like And I believe that was Kucherov's wife sitting next to him. She didn't look impressed either. So all I could think was, I remember Vasilevsky when they were making all the jokes back in 2019 about the choke job that Tampa Bay did, and Vasilevsky was having none of it. He was not laughing at any of it. Kucherov had some of that energy going on. So when Tampa Bay wins the next two Stanley Cups, it may have started at the award show. So I'm just throwing that out there. And then the Hart Trophy is awarded. I found it odd that Bettman hands out the Hart Trophy. They had some pretty good presenters at times during the award show, and then all the winners were on the stage for the award as well. And I don't think I've seen that before. Maybe I have. Maybe I've got this part of my brain that's just blocked out award shows and just is like, nope, nope. Remember all the hockey history stuff. Just the award show is better left forgotten. But Nathan MacKinnon. Nathan MacKinnon wins the Hart, and it's not close. Kucherov gets 50 first place votes. MacKinnon got 137. So a majority of the writers, and I said at the end of the season, if I had a vote, I would have voted for Nathan MacKinnon. So I felt that MacKinnon was the most valuable player in the National Hockey League. McDavid got one first place vote. Matthews got two. Panarin got three. And Hellebuck got one. So that's how the writers viewed it. And again, it was a landslide. In the end, it's not really close. That you see MacKinnon get the award. He gets two awards. So the hockey players said MacKinnon was the best player in the league, and the writers felt he was the most valuable player in the league. And I know there's going to be a lot of angry Tampa Bay fans. Anytime I've talked about MacKinnon and how I would have given him the MVP award, I've seen the Kucherov at 100 assists. Nobody's ever done that before. The difference between first and second place scoring on the team. But I kept saying, like with Kucherov, I understand, but it's not like he's playing with scrubs out there. He's playing with some pretty elite talent. So I understand that Braden Point didn't have a lot of assists, but he had a bunch of goals. And yeah, so it's just one of those things that I understand it's a difference of opinion. Opinion comes into this, of course, but there you go. I also want to throw in, I know that Tyler Myers signed an extension with the Vancouver Canucks today. There hasn't been anything else that's happened, so at this point I'm leaning towards just throwing that into the news video tomorrow as we get ready for the draft. So now that this is out of the way, Las Vegas, the draft tomorrow, round 1 tomorrow, and then rounds 2 through 7 are on Saturday. So for NHL teams, the work gets started to, well, I mean, they've been working pretty hard at making deals and signing guys anyways. This award show is just a nice break from that. So the question that I have for people is this. We've talked about the award show before and how it could be a tough watch. And I've already seen comments online of people saying that was a little cringy, that wasn't really a great award show. My idea to just give it just a serious host and go for like a semi-permanent host, right? I think that could work. And somebody that hockey fans know and we all know is a really big hockey fan. That's why I said, Michael Bublé would absolutely work. I mean, the NHL would probably ideally want Justin Bieber to be the host, right? I don't know if that's necessarily in the cards, but just having it makes such a difference if you have a host for a show that's entertaining to watch. And I'd steer clear of using comedians. It's hard to make hockey funny. That's what I've come to the conclusion of. It's hard to make hockey funny. If the NHL ever asked me if I would host it, my answer would be yes. They're never going to ask. But I would, and then people would be upset because I'd be like, I'm not making jokes. I'm not making jokes. I'm hosting a show. Why would I want to make jokes? No. And so yeah, I don't know that I necessarily would be what they're looking for, because clearly they want the comedy side of it. And for me, I treat it like, no, it's an award show, and I'm around some of the most talented hockey players in the world, so I'm going to treat it seriously. Yeah, a little quip here and there, sure, but man, it just I didn't feel like any of the jokes landed at all. You guys can let me know if you cracked a smile at some point or anything. I'm glad that Yvonne's home now. She came back today. They've been gone since Sunday, so that I could go out and have somebody to talk to during this, because it kind of felt like almost like counseling, kind of like counseling a little bit. A little bit of, so I need to talk about what I just saw, what I just heard. I need to chat about, I need a safe space to talk about this. So anyways, there you go. The awards are done. Let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are on the whole thing, and how you, if you're in charge of the award show next year, who would you get to host it, and what kind of format would you use? Or do you think, well, since we're decentralizing the draft next year, do we need an award show? And that's a legitimate question to ask. Do we need the award show? Yes or no? Let me know your thoughts, alternative ideas you might have, and all that, because why not? Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. Do not forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will talk to you again soon.